Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Nut here. Well, I've got a new video for you today. This is hot on the heels of my 2016 subscriber video and giveaway. And for those of you who watched that video and left a message underneath or came to my Facebook page and left a message there, I did award those prizes. So take a look and see if you've won. You can log on to my Facebook page or look at the previous video, and I'll put the link in here to see if you've won. And anyway, thanks again for watching and subscribing. This video is the first build for this year, and this is kind of a, I don't know, I just kind of got sucked into a case that I saw, and it was the case that I saw that I bought was the Thermaltake Core P5. And I really like the idea of having just a complete open case, you know, viewing the whole system. I mean, I know we have our systems with big windows and all that, and that's fine and dandy, but really that case seemed to be one of a showcase. But, and so I went through my subscriber video and showed you guys some of the goodies that I had laying around that I planned to use in some builds. And I pointed that out, and I really want to go through with that build, but somebody had posted a note about another case that is in the same vein, the same line, and that is the Lian-Li OS7 case. And so when I saw that, and I saw the elegance of that case and how light it was, I just had to go with that. So the build that I'm going to do now basically is going to use that case. No longer am I going to be using the Thermaltake Core P5. Yeah, so for this build, it's going to center on two key things, what drove this build. Number one was the case, again, and I'm going to start with that P5, but once I found the Lian-Li 07SX, I really fell in love with that case, and I thought that this would be the one that I wanted to use in this build. It's very elegant. It's actually enclosed, whereas the P5, the glass sits away from the case. This actually is a case, and you can seal it with the glass top. It does have a couple of differences. Of course, you won't be able to see the radiator. That won't be a prominent feature, whereas in the P5, any water cooling radiator that you had mounted would show that. And this case really is not technically designed for water cooling, but that's part of the challenge. So I'm going to water cool it by hook or by crook, and hopefully it comes out good. And the other thing that really drove this build and with the large glass side panel was once I found the Asus Maximus 8 formula motherboard, and Asus now adding RGB lighting features to that. Once I saw that, I was like, you know what? That is going to be the key to this theme. So showing off the motherboard, of course, and the RGB lighting. I found some other bits and pieces that have some lighting effects or that respond well to light. So that's kind of the theme in this, kind of you know, lighting effects setup, but hopefully it'll come out looking nice and clean and classy. And the other thing too is you know, in this case, not only adding the water cooling to it, but you know, making it so that, you know, cables are clean, making it look like a clean, elegant kind of build, something that you would want to hang on your wall like art. Now I may wind up actually selling this build or revising it before I sell it, but for now this is a build for myself to enjoy. I haven't done one in a while, since middle and early last year, because of all the moves and everything else that's going on. So I get a chance to have some build therapy, if you want to call it that. I enjoy the builds and share that with you, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. So without further ado, let me take you through the parts in the build, and realize, though, if you watch my other videos, many times I start off a build with this, you know, list of parts, show you all these pieces, and by the time I'm done, you know, a lot of these things may not make it into the final build, and that will come as a result of some of the options that I give myself when I go into a build, and also things that pop up that are new that that I learn about during the build. And case in point was going with the Lian-Li case instead of the P5. Somebody actually pointed that out during the in the comments of my subscriber giveaway video, and that's what drew me to it, and then got me hooked. So those kinds of things will happen, and I'm very fortunate and blessed that I can swap these things out and make changes. Hopefully not before it's too late, and I will, we'll make it happen. We'll make it work if it makes sense. Anyway, let's take a closer look. All right, so starting off with, that is the Lian-Li PC-07SX Case. And that case is very, very nice. It does have a black smoked glass, but I know you see the reflection, probably me and the camera in it, but you can actually see through it pretty nicely. And I think with the lighting effects that I plan to put in there, it'll look good. So anyway, I hope it does. And let's start with the core pieces we talked about. So we have a Maximus 8 formula motherboard. And so Asus teamed up with EK for the water block over the MOSFETs on that motherboard. So not only does it have the RGB options for it, the cooling is a hybrid air or water cooled, and it has the G-quarter fittings for it, and like I said, it's an EK block, so that's going to be nice. I will be tapping into that for sure. On the processor, on the motherboard, we have the Core i7-6700K. So that one is the processor. Of course, it's got to be unlocked so we can overclock it. And then memory-wise, okay, memory, I have a couple of options here. So let me show you what we got going on here. And of course, as I go through the build, you'll see a lot more of it. But as you see, the motherboard coloring is like a slate gray with black, and it has, yeah, and there's a couple of accents of silver, but so it's really a beautiful motherboard, of course. Now, one of the things that I thought would look good on there is this G-Skill RAM. So this is the heat spreaders that are on these right here right now. And I thought that would look good on that motherboard. So that is, these are beautiful RAM. I think they're really nicely designed. I don't know how well they perform. And the other thing too, I'm not going to water cool the RAM, of course. When you have RAM with beautiful blocks like that, heat sinks on there, I'm not taking them off. And so anyway, so this build will not have water cooled RAM. You've seen it do it before. It's not necessary. It is all about the bling. But in this case, I'm not doing that. But this is just basic, there's no, the lighting from the case would shine on this for you to see it. But one of the things that I thought might be even better to go with is this Avexir Raiden RAM. And this has some bling. Of course, this has the tubes that have the plasma tubes, I guess, if you will, and that might look really awesome. Now, these only come, I think, in this white with blue accent, but all you're going to see is the top of the RAM. So we'll see. I'm going to decide if whichever one of these goes in, the other is going to find a home in another build. So that's an option, and you guys want to give me feedback on what you'd like to see, by all means, let me know what you guys are thinking, and we'll see which one to wind up in there. I'm definitely going to be testing them both out. All right, and let's see. Let's move over to some discs. Now that is a slot loading, or not a slot loading, that is just a thin DVD read writer. This case does have a bracket for that, so I still like to load games and stuff off of DVDs. So I'm going to continue to use that. And anyway, so this case has an option for it. I'm going to put that in. From a disc standpoint, we have back here the Samsung 950 Pro. That M.2 is going to be mounted on here, so that's going to be the OS and applications drive. And then I have a couple of options. I have a couple of 1 terabyte 840 EVOs. I've had them for a little while. And I also have a couple of 500 gigabyte 840 series drives. So I'm thinking about making the games drive on this, and I'll use this. I'm going to use this certainly as a gaming system and see how well it performs with some G-Sync monitors. But I'm either going to put the two 500s in a RAID 0 and make that the game drive, or I might use 1 terabyte. I haven't decided. Now, there are only so many places you can put drives in this system, and you notice I don't have any hard disk drive, any platters. I do have some enterprise drives that I might try to mount in this case, but we'll see. Right now, I'm looking at strictly the Samsung 850 Pro as the OS and applications drive, and then some combination of these SSDs as the data drives. All right, now we'll get into some water cooling. Well, before we get into water cooling, we have video card, GPU. Now, the GPU that I'm going to use in this, I've had for a while. I haven't had a chance to set up and test, and I've been dying to use it. Is this Asus 980 Ti, the Strix. It's a kick-ass card, and I really, really like it. Now, this case is designed to extend at least one PCI Express card, and this is a wide card, but I did buy the extension to add another one down in the front. Now, whether or not this is all going to work, you'll see with me. We'll figure that out. But I don't have just one, I have two. So if I can do SLI of these guys in here, this is going to be a killer. The only thing is you're only going to see one, but that's okay. Well, maybe you'll see both. It's got glass, so we'll see. Depends on where it's mounted and how it looks. So yeah, that's going to be a killer. Excuse me. Yeah, that's going to be a killer setup for that. So now getting more into the water cooling, I have in the top of the case is where you mount the radiator, and so I have a Black Ice Nemesis 360 GTX radiator back there. That is the rad that's going into this case. The Strix video cards are sitting on an AXI 1200 Corsair, so that's the power supply. Now, that power supply is a little big, and there's only so much space for the power supply to fit before I start encroaching on where I plan to put some water cooling. So that power supply may be changed out for a smaller physical size one that has enough horsepower to drive all this, which I don't think is going to be a problem even if I drop down to like an 860 or a 1000. But right now, that's the planned power supply. And then the water cooling is going to be, right now what I found is this new EK res pump combo. I could have built it myself buying the bit parts, but they sell one. It's a D5 pump and a 140 milliliter res. So this is the new Revo, so you'll see that, and that includes a pump. And I did buy some brackets for it. I believe it has a bracket. The water block for the chip, I'm not sure which way to go. I have 3 different options to choose from. So I'll open some of these up and get feedback from you guys here. So I'm going to do that here before the end of the video. But I have here, this is an EK Supremacy Clean CSQ. Then I have a EK Supremacy Evo. This is a full nickel water block. And then I have here a Bits Power Summit block. That also is a like a shiny silver color. So I'm not sure which one to go with. I'm not sure what color the coolant is going to be in this build, so I might go with a clean top, and you'll see that flowing through the blocks. That may be what I wind up doing, but I'm not sure. So let me open these up and let's take a quick look at them. All right, so here is the first block. This is the EK Supremacy Clean CSQ. So I never really liked the circled CSQs at all. I always polished them off. So finally they came out with the clean block. You know, and the beauty of having EK is having, you know, I got the logo here, the logo over there. So that actually adds some consistency to this area of the motherboard. And the clear block, you know, just has the black and, you know, some of the nickel plating. And again, I'm not sure what coolant to use, what color. If I'm going to use any color, I'm not sure yet. But so that's one. Let's take a look at the next one. All right, so this is the EK Supremacy Evo. This is a full nickel block. Now this has a sticker covering the EK logo. That's why it's got some writing on it, but that would come off and have the EK logo there. Kind of leaving it in the bags because if I don't decide to use it, I don't want to break the seal on it. All right, that is the EK Supremacy Evo full nickel. So here we have a Bits Power block. This is a Bits Power Summit EF. That is all nickel. The EKs, you may have noticed, have a black mounting plate. This one is all nickel plated, solid. That's a heavy block, and it's a nice block, but I don't know, mixing the Bits Power with the EK in that area there, well, you probably won't see it, but I don't know, I know it. I don't know if that's the right, this is the right motherboard for that block right now. It looks nice, but I think I have another motherboard that might work better for that block. Like maybe this titanium edition MSI motherboard. Maybe that is the one for this block. We'll see. Anyway, so that's the last option for the CPU block on this motherboard. Now if I do SLI, then I have the Asus SLI bridge. So that I was able to pick that up, and that's going to look great. And actually, to be honest with you, I think I'm going to swap that out and put it in my STH10, put that in my main rig. That's it's probably ultimately where it's going to wind up. And then for the RGB, to continue on with that theme, I have CableMod's new RGB controller and an extension piece, so I can get the RGB lighting all around the case properly. And of course they come with a connection and a fitting that adapts to the Asus motherboard. So so they're kind of, you know, made to work together, so we'll see if that's true. And then the other thing that I did, not really a big Thermaltake fan, but you know what, they have an RGB fan set up that is PWM, so we'll see how that actually works. And though, since you won't see the radiator, you will see the RGB coming from those fans though. So that'll add to the RGB theme setup for this. So yeah, so that's it. Oh, and I almost forgot, guys, to show you the order blocks for the Strix. That's a Bits Power full cover block for the Strix 980 Ti's. That's really pretty. So again, you're going to have a clear block here that you'll be sitting right out in front there. That'll be in full view to get coolant shown through it, or at least just that. And it also comes with a nice back plate. It's a massive graphics card, but just wanted to show you that card, that block. I forgot to point it out during the look at the bits. So that's it, guys. Those are the bits that I plan to put into this build. I do have those options though on the RAM, so let me know what you think, and if you have any suggestions even outside of that, I'm open to anything. The CPU blocks, let me know which ones you guys think are is best suited, which one is best suited for it, and if you have any recommendations on the drive setup. The drives really is just like I said, the OS is already set, and then the gaming disk is really what it's going to be used for. So so it'll probably be one of those SSD setups, maybe in a RAID, so we can do some benchmarking to see how fast they go. But let me know what you think about that. And oh, the other thing, this will be a hardline tube, so I will do some bending, or I may use those Bits Power, you know, the 90-degree Bits Power, so I don't have to mess with any bends. It depends. We'll see. I have a number of those fittings, so, and that also adds to like the elegance of it. I really liked it in my STH10. I think they came out really good. But I may do a combination of both. Anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and favorite, and if you're so inclined, please subscribe. That's it till next time. Thanks for watching.